Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. Today is a Tobacco Tasters episode, so we are trying the Country Squire's Tidewater. Hopefully you guys got your blend a while back and you've been smoking it, ready to give us your thoughts on this as well. Please make sure that you post your thoughts underneath the description in your comments so that other people can also benefit from your experiences with this. All right, so this is a straight Virginia. It's a ribbon cut. It is a bulk blend. It is currently available. It says that there's no flavoring on this, but we're going to talk about that as we get into it. The strength on this is a mild to a moderate. The taste on this is a moderate. And there's not a lot of information out there on this one. There's as far as what is reviewed, there's not a lot of reviews on this, so hopefully we're doing something that everyone is new. It's new to them, and maybe you go out and give it a shot. The description that the Country Squire gives this, it says Virginia ribbon cut tobacco, extremely light to the smoker and natural in its sweetness. So let's go ahead and talk about this one, Nathan. What do you first of all, to show everybody, where's your jar of it? We have two different jars of it. This jar is a jar that I bought. This blend was suggested to us by a viewer, and when I got that suggestion, I went out and bought 2 ounces of it. And so this jar of it is dated from January 2023. This jar was given to me. It was donated to me. And this is from May of 2018. So there's quite a difference. And I don't know if you can see this, but the coloration of the two is quite different as well. This one right here is very dark, where this has some
still bright colors.
Yes, definite bright colors in it. So it's going to be interesting to kind of hear the differences between these two.
Yeah.
I've smoked both of them. Nathan, you haven't smoked the older blend yet. So I'll be referring mostly to the newer blend, since that's what you guys will be getting too. But I will also give you some thoughts about the older version as well.
Well, very cool.
All right, so let's start with the 10 note. What are you getting on the 10 note?
All right, well, so it's got that there's a sweetness to it. There's a definite sweetness to it, coming from the 10 note to, we'll get into it a little bit more later, but yeah, the first thing that comes through is it's got a sweetness to it, and an almost nutty type sweetness. Kind of reminds me of Burley's a little bit as well. There's some bright, tangy notes, some grassy hints coming through from the Virginias. It's definitely colored very pretty. I like the way it looks. It looks like a pretty straightforward Virginia blend to me. I'm just getting a lot of those sweetness, kind of almost like a bready sweetness.
I get, okay, so
bready, nutty sweetness.
I've compared the 10 note of this to Dan Tobacco's blue note, maybe just a little bit softer than that one. And also to Peter Heinrich's
probably number 4. Number 4 is Reserve Crew number 4 is definitely more along those lines.
So
that one's a little sweeter than number 2.
I get a juicy fruit gum kind of smell.
Yeah.
And I get a coconut smell. This is definitely cased with something. It may not be topped.
Yeah.
But it's definitely cased with something.
Yeah.
The Virginias are. So, like I said, I get that little bit of juicy fruit, a little bit of coconut. I get a little bit of the nuttiness that you're talking about. I don't get a whole lot of the natural Virginias.
That's where I'm kind of having the issue. Is to me it smells more like a kind of an Arrow Burley blend or a Kentucky or like there's Cavendish in it or something. I can smell the sweetness to it. It looks like a straight Virginia, but it smells more like an aromatic blend.
Now the older version, the 10 note is very similar to that one, except to me there's also a fermented smell in this.
Okay.
Smell that.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of
gone wrong. Yeah.
A dark fruit fermented kind of smell to that as well. So that's about the only difference between the two in the 10 note. I don't get a lot of tobacco essence from this. So going into it, I'm already thinking, okay, this is going to be
Goopy.
very sweet,
Very
very
hot.
Yeah, and probably a wet smoke.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too.
We'll see. All right. So, what do you get on the flavors on this?
So, it almost has, flavor-wise, whatever they've done to try and whatever they've done with like a casing, maybe. If they haven't, I'm not sure.
There's no doubt in my mind there's a casing in this.
There's a sweetness that comes through
Yeah.
on the taste. But this is where, to me, I get a lot more of the Virginias are coming through on this note. I can taste those bright, grassy flavors, but they're sweet. They're almost on the back end, because right when you take the initial puff, I get all that sweetness on there. And it's almost reminiscent to me of kind of like that Lakeland essence. Like there's a Samuel Gawith tobacco, a Kendall tobacco, where all of their Virginias are coated with that Lakeland. What is it?
Some guys say geranium. Some guys say rose water.
I think it's, yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
But that Lakeland essence, whatever they do,
it's almost a soapy smell.
yes, this is the sweetness, and then that altered flavor that's on top of the Virginia. That's what I'm getting on it. It to me, it tastes similar to the Reserve Crew, but only on the Virginia side of it. The initial it really reminds me of an aromatic, like back when I was doing 2 or 3 years ago, when I was trying to find the arrow that's not an arrow. It reminds me a lot of what the same guys did in the same blend.
This is, Country Squire calls this a non-aromatic. This is definitely an aromatic. I mean, I'm not to argue with John David. He knows what he's doing. I just think that whatever tobaccos he's getting to source this from, they're already cased. So he may not. He may not be adding anything to it, but there is a casing on this. The flavors that I'm getting, exactly what you smell is exactly what you taste.
Yeah.
I get that sugary, juicy fruit, a dark fruit kind of taste. It's hot. It burns hot. So it's forcing me to slow my cadence down.
You have to sip it.
Yeah. And that's hard for me. That's very, very difficult for me. As far as the tobacco taste that I get a little slight smokiness, lots of floral and vegetal.
That's where I'm getting that Lakeland essence.
Yeah,
all those floral and vegetal type of flavors that are coming through. To me, it lends itself more to that path than it does the Reserve Crew. But the 10 note is the exact opposite. But it's I don't know. It's playing with me like it's an aromatic.
Yeah,
And
it
that's,
definitely smokes like an aromatic.
That's what I think it's causing me to kind of go, I'm not sure how I feel about this, because I like a full tobacco flavor.
For a summer smoke, this is probably okay, but I just don't enjoy the hotness of this blend, or a lot of Virginia aromatics.
Yeah.
I have a difficulty getting past the false chemical taste, and then the hotness of the blend, and that really takes me away from liking this blend.
Same.
For some guys, this may be a great tasting blend. I don't get that. I get burnt tobacco tastes,
Almost like burnt marshmallow flavor.
but mostly the topping or the casing. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's very difficult to find any kind of tobacco tastes in this. And I'm even trying to smoke it in my long prints to kind of help cool it off a little bit, And it's just not working. It's not helping.
No, I'm with you on that. The chemical, and that's the thing. There is a chemically taste to it. I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's got to be the source on their tobacco, because I feel like there's another blend that I've smoked of theirs that is kind of similar. In
Yeah.
Like
like Old Toby.
that's what I'm thinking. Either Old Toby, Second Breakfast.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the other blends that they do that are unaltered.
Well,
Full
I don't
Virginia.
think it's called Old Toby anymore, Second Breakfast, because they had to change their name, the names of the tobaccos. But that's what it used to be. Yeah, I just can't get into the aromatics at all. I don't, and it's all has to do with how it hits my palate. I mean, because it's immediate. It's not subtle. It's not slow going. It's immediately
It's
as
right
that
there.
smoke hits my
Yeah.
palate.
You
Man,
get that. You get the flavor of what what an aromatic is aiming for, and then the chemical. It's right there at the same note. Like it's like you get the nice, soft, sweet flavors on top, and then the bitterness on the sides, which is exactly what normal taste buds work. So
Now
I think that's what's happening.
The one thing I can say about this blend is that it's pretty consistent all the way through. It's not changing. It's not getting hotter or cooler.
And I will say it's not as goopy as I thought it would be. Either.
Yeah, and it's not
smoking pretty well.
Yeah, once you get it lit, it's not.
It's
not that wet. It seems that wet coming out. Even the 6-year-old stuff was feeling pretty moist.
But I'm not having any issues keeping it lit or keeping it smoked. So that is pleasant to me. I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Country Squire, John David. This is not my favorite. This is not one that I really enjoy.
I will say this is one that makes me think of. I would enjoy this on a cool morning, or like even a summer morning, where you wake up and it's only 80 degrees outside instead of the 100.
Only 80, yeah.
But you can have your cup of coffee and stuff, and I think this would flavor it well.
I smoked this morning with coffee, and it was all right.
It does. I think it lends itself to doing better at times of just nothing.
It just, after 40 some odd years of smoking a pipe, I don't change the way I smoke, and so I draw heavy. I smoke fast, and this just doesn't lean to that kind of a smoke.
Yeah.
And so it's just not the tobacco for me. Some of you guys may love this. I have to say that the tin note on it is amazing.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, very pleasant.
And smoking it, you're getting exactly what you smell.
Yep.
So it's one of those tobaccos that,
Well, and also, it's a good point to move on to the room note on it. That's to me, this is a very pleasurable room note. It leaves a very soft, sweet essence in the air that is kind of inviting.
Kind of a sugary, like you said, maybe like a marshmallow smell, that vanilla marshmallow kind of smell.
Yeah, and it just kind of lingers there in the air. It's very pleasant. And I mean, considering the room note and the tin note, I taste the same flavors you're tasting. It's just, to me, it's not as strong in the smoke as it is in the tin note and the room note. Yeah. It smells stronger and sweeter than it tastes to me.
Yeah, it's too bad. I really wanted to like this one, but just not for me. Not for me. Like I said, it is available. You can order this from the Country Squire anytime. It's right at their normal pricing. I don't remember exactly. I think for 2 ounces, it's like,
14,
15
yeah,
bucks.
14, 15 bucks, yeah.
Something like that. So
they're pretty comparable.
Yeah. But I think this Country Squire has other tobacco blends that are better than this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They do. And they even come up with limited run stuff that comes out incredibly good. That hot chocolate blend that they did last year was phenomenal. I hope they do it again this year.
Goodness.
But me personally, I would say now that we're starting to get into cooler days in the summer and stuff like that.
Cooler days, it's August, dude.
Dude, I would.
It's gonna be miserable the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the last week and a half hasn't been bad. For me, I've been out in it working, and I feel like I'm happier these last couple of weeks than I have been the weeks before that, where I was like,
well, it's gonna just prepare yourself.
I will.
It's gonna get
crappy.
crappy.
But this would be, to me, it almost seems like this would be a good pleasant morning drive smoke for me. This is that nice little sitting in traffic on my way to job with my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of digging that idea on it. They say it's not an aromatic. It is, but the thing that's pleasing me about it is it's not smoking like a true aromatic. I'm not having to deal with dottle. I'm not having to deal with relights. And the heat that's coming from it isn't so unmanageable that I can't adjust.
Well, and I have to say that the 6-year-old version is the casing has been toned down as opposed to the 1-year-old version over here.
Okay.
It's a little, the casing's a little lighter, but still it's there, and it's still affecting the smoke for me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it almost felt like that was goopier than that one was when we first laid it out, because I felt yours when it first in the jar.
well, you know, a lot can change in 6 years.
They could have changed. They had
They
to
may
do
have
different.
had to, you
Yeah,
know.
different provider for the ingredients that they were
Yeah,
using.
yeah.
They might have.
Who knows, you know? So a lot can change in 6 years. But, you know,
I think this is an okay smoke for a guy who's an arrow smoker who wants to try a little more of a full-bodied smoke. If you're used to sipping and you're used to slow smoking and you're used to arrows and stuff like that, this might please you because I think it adds a little bit of that nutty sweetness
yeah,
to a full-bodied smoke.
yeah.
Because it definitely does. I think that's where we're having the issue. Since there's no dottle, since there's no relights and no hard work going into the pipe, it's allowing us to draw as hard and heavy as we want.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be doing that with this kind of smoke.
Yeah,
you're gonna scorch your tongue.
Yeah, it's raping my
Yeah, your mouth. Yeah.
It's just like,
And I knew that because you had warned me about that going into this.
Yeah.
And so I sipped it, and I'm not having a bad time with it. I just think it has its place, and it's not an all-day smoke.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you have if you've lost every bit of your taste buds and your mouth is totally, you know,
Yep.
ransacked.
If all you can eat is hot sauce.
Yeah,
and
if all you eat is serrano peppers, and
Yeah.
then, you know, then this might be right there for you.
there you go.
All right, so what's the nicotine content on this?
Nah, this is mild.
Yeah,
If you can smoke it all day, you could.
Yeah.
We can't, but if we could, we would. It's not that bad. There's not much to it.
yeah. The nicotine on this is pretty moderate, it's pretty low. I'm not getting anything from it other than the burn from the casing. Yeah, so there's no nicotine, substantial nicotine content to this one.
Well, this is a small bowl, and I've burnt it all the way down. It went all the way down.
So you smoke faster than I do.
I packed it lighter.
Oh, okay.
I did a half bowl.
You know, if you think you might like this one, if you like arrows, this is it's in the non-aromatic section of the Country Squire's website.
Yeah.
But it is an aromatic. It definitely is.
It lends itself to taste like one. Yeah.
Now, what do you mean lens? There is a casing on this. It should be categorized as an aromatic.
So, I mean, that's
There's no way that this is not an arrow.
maybe in the future we can ash it out. But it lends itself to one of those things, to me, where people would put sugar water on burleys while they let them sit over straps before they chop them up and do things.
Yeah, but
is that a
technically-
burley or is that a casing? Is that a topping?
Technically, anything you add to a tobacco that changes its flavor characteristic is considered a topping.
An additive, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be an aromatic. You know, if you add cloves to it, it's going to be an aromatic. It's just got spice arrow instead of sweet goopy arrow.
I guess that's fair.
That's my thoughts. Now, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
You know,
let us know, guys.
We'd like to know. All right, so next week, Nathan has got a new blend that he wants to share with you guys that is going to be available through Emerson Southern Forged.
Yes.
And
this is my blend, guys.
he had it specially made for him, and it is available. So he's going to kind of talk you through that one. And
I'll let you know how to get more and who to contact to get it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I like about the Southern Forged, Emerson Southern Forged, is that everything he sends out has a label and comes in a mason jar.
Yep. comes in a guys. It comes in a 2-ounce mason jar. I bought just a little insight. I bought it for, I don't know how much he normally charges or whether he's giving me a discount. I don't know what's going on. I bought a fair sum of that blend from him, 8 ounces. That is 4 2-ounce mason jars that I get to keep to reuse for other tin tobaccos that I want. And it all came with stickers, labels, and to me, the price was fair. To have a custom blend that tastes the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, yeah. He's still working on one for me, and hopefully that one will become available soon. But as of now, all we got ready is Nathan's blend. So he's gonna.
It's gonna be Nate's Blend by Southern Emerson Forge,
and he's gonna talk you through that one. So, and our next tobacco tasters, which is gonna be at the end of August.
Yes.
Guess what's coming out? The new Cornell and Deal Sun Bear. So that's coming out like on the 15th of August.
Yeah.
If you guys want to jump in on that tobacco taster, you're going to need to be up and ready to go.
When it hits.
When it hits, because that stuff will disappear quick.
I missed the last one because I said, oh no, it'll be okay when I wake up for work the next day. They'll still, no, there wasn't.
You know, I think they stopped doing the
midnight releases.
Yeah, I think they're doing 6 o'clock now.
Well, that's better.
So,
but I think maybe that particular day I decided to be a millennial and wake up a little later. And that probably is what got me.
All right. Well, so be ready for that one. I'll keep reminding you as we go along. All right. Well, thanks for jumping in on this one, Nathan.
No problem.
Matter of fact, you can take that one with you.
I hope to.
Because I don't think I'll smoke it.
I will. I will. And you know what? Ian might like this a lot too.
Yeah, Ian. Colton might like it.
We'll see. Colton's gotten a little more hardcore on the Virginias, though.
Yeah. I think he's doing straight.
Like he's just chopping up a plant and drying it himself, basically.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We sure do appreciate it. Don't forget.
Make all your piping moments count.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.